European history is known for advancements that changed the world. Whether empires were conquered, crusades were marched, or labor work was made easier, the Europeans occupied all. The impact the Europeans had in colonization in Africa is a different story. This event in history is still argued quite often, for some are uncertain as to if the European motives, which were violent and forceful, were justified in the end outcome of the colonization. The colonization in Africa impacted the trade system and ways of living in Africa as well as Europe, creating tensions on both sides. Colonization started taking root in Africa during the new imperialism period between the early 1800s and 1900s. Eventually in 1835, the Europeans successfully mapped out most of the northwestern part of Africa. This map allowed for easier trade through Africa, to start new colonies and acquire more land. Most of the northwestern colonies were controlled by France, whereas Great Britain controlled the majority of territories in the eastern and southern parts of Africa. Belgium maintained control of the center territory of Congo. Portugal, Italy, and Spain controlled the rest of Africa. Only a small portion of Africa was independent, but sadly this would not be the case for long.
'Twas a lovely afternoon it is in Great Britain today.
It is a lovely afternoon.
Oh, my, where is our tea?
Slave boy,
'Tis tea time, isn't it?
come hither, I am parched. Thank you.
I would like some tea as well. Thank you. Well, Charles, the other day I was thinking we should have a look at that globe again.
Ah, we should.
Look, here it is. You see Africa right here? Do you see it?
Yes, I see the Africa.
You see, we have this part of Africa and this part of Africa, and I don't see why we cannot have this part and this part as well.
Right, it only makes sense. It's closer to Britain than the other two.
Exactly. And since we're Great Britain, we have such a great naval power, we should have all of Africa.
We should. We are awesome.
Yes.
We're the best.
That
Our navy
would
is
be.
superior to all other navies.
Indeed, I concur.
Hello, Yavol, my mute friend. Well, so I was thinking about this Africa issue. You're angry, and something about a rotten grandma. Oh, cotton! Sorry. So, you say something about cotton and sugar. I think we should go for Congo, eh? Oh, look, the mountains feel like Braille. Yes. So, I say we fight for Congo.
You see, this is Africa. We want this part, because we already have parts of it, right?
Yes, we do. Part of Africa looks very pretty tonight. La la.
From November in 1884 to February 1885, the Berlin West African Conference met in Berlin, Germany to establish control over African nations and to celebrate European imperialism. There were 14 countries in the Congress, 7 of which would eventually control Africa. All 14 were European countries, none officially representing the African nations. Together, Great Britain, France, and Belgium controlled most of Africa's territories at the start of the convention. The importance of trading goods rapidly advanced colonization within Africa. The practice of making new settlements in lands other than the parent land is called colonization. Usually colonization has resulted in killing or forcing whatever the indigenous population is to the new standards. European men would barge into established African tribes and take whatever they deemed was theirs. They readjusted the land and gave different pieces to different tribes, while forcing some differing tribes to live together. Many of these tribes who were forced to live with each other were enemies, and it often resulted in violent and bloody war. These hostile feelings have carried on for generations and can now be seen in the violent wars in Darfur and Kenya.
What sparked the European economy were the goods that were being acquired from Africa. Between the sugar, cotton, peanuts, and cocoa, the European nations were thriving, while the African nations were suffering brutal hardships.